Hi everybody, just wanted to make a video today in response to Narcisssits Schmarcisists video. Her name is Nora. She has a book out and I actually made a review on this book. And I just had some extra time in between work appointments and I wanted to address it. She makes a video about how she's well out of the narcissistic marriage that she had, and she's remarried. She cut ties with all of the narcissists in her life and everything, and she makes a video about how she viewed an interaction that she had with a therapist at the time of a divorce counseling session differently today than she did then. Meaning that when she was divorcing the narcissist, the therapist blamed her for allowing her husband to treat her the way that he did. And at the time she was infuriated and upset and extremely acted very negatively to this criticism of her being to blame for the treatment that she received. And now she says in hindsight, she sees that the therapist was trying to empower her because the therapist saw the value in her as a person and was trying to get her to see that she had more value and that it's her responsibility to get herself out of situations when people attack her. When narcissists attack, we should be more resilient and try to get ourselves out and try to see it for what it is, and etc. And I thought about it, and I really wanted to address this point because I disagree with her respectfully. I think her channel is, in general, a very, very well put together channel. But if we're going to be civilized, we have to agree to disagree sometimes with one another. And the problem is that there's a misunderstanding of trauma bonding in society. Many people do not understand what trauma bonding is, and that's why people blame victims of abuse, because they don't understand how hard it is to leave these sorts of relationships, because it's a biochemical addiction. And the worst thing that a person can do when a person is addicted is say something along the lines of, well, it's, you made the wrong choices. Or it's your fault that you're addicted. Addiction always starts somewhere, first of all, with some sort of underlying trauma. But what makes the addiction of the narcissist so insidious and so difficult to read is that there's not enough information out there on the addiction itself. And also, they don't come with warning labels, people. If you drink yourself into a stupor for 20 years, presumably you can point to a moment in your life when you were very depressed or anxious and alcohol became a coping skill for you. And at the very least, beer and wine come with warning labels that say that these things are not for mass consumption. But the problem with narcissism addiction is that they're very crafty at pretending that they are not purveyors of addiction. They're very crafty at pretending that there's some good in them. So when a person is already addicted, their physiology is geared towards addiction, and their brain is disconnected from that physiology. So they rationalize situations because they have an addictive physiology. And that is lost in the conversation of, it's your fault, you are to blame. We have a responsibility to see narcissists as purveyors of disease, because otherwise we cannot warn other people about them. We have a responsibility as a society to have a conversation that there are people out there that just want to make people addicted. And so if you're a child of a narcissist, for example, on top of not knowing that you're dealing with a person that is trying to make you addicted, society is enabling your addiction, because society is telling you that it's okay to listen to this purveyor of addiction that is the narcissist, because they're your parent, or they're your mother, or they're your father. And so when that figure of authority, the most important figures of authority in your life, are also trying to make you addicted to them and addicted to other things, then do you really bear the responsibility for the formation of that addiction? You may bear some responsibility for your sobriety afterwards, after you figure all of it out, but to say to a narcissist son or daughter, the son or daughter of one of these people, that they enabled their own addiction, or that they're to blame, is just, it's not allowing for the conversation about the fault of the narcissist to be had within our community and within society. And that's all I had to say about that. I'm going to cover intermittent reinforcement in the next video to describe how the narcissist makes people addicted to them. Kisses.